Well, those of you who are paying attention to anything happening in Florida will know that Governor Ron DeSantis has passed his Stop the Woke Act or Stop Woke Act. I mean, that just screams of conservative troping. You know what I'm saying? And what this is supposed to do, it's basically an out of sight, out of mind approach with regards to the systemic racism that is negatively affecting this country and has been ever since the beginning. And what he's trying to do is make way for a strictly American exceptionalist curriculum to be put into Florida schools. And that's not just in Florida, I mean, it's happening all over the country. But the Stop Woke Act or Anti-Woke Act, I'm not sure what the whole thing is called. I know it's the Woke Act or something. But it's basically, according to him and according to Republican talking heads, is they're trying to stop the teaching of critical race theory. They're essentially, saying white people don't want their fifis hurt. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. These people can't even define critical race theory. They don't even know what it is. I mean, hell, most of us don't even know what it is who aren't taking it as a college course. So they just made this up out of thin air because they heard about it somewhere. Like, ooh, this looks like something we could weaponize against our political enemies. Look, and that's how Glenn Youngkin won in my state of Virginia. Now, I've been challenging Youngkin a little bit and saying, here's what I think you're going to do, prove me wrong. And I list all these negative things that Republicans want to do to stab working people in the back. So I'm going to keep pushing them on that over time. But these guys, I mean, they're grasping. They're grasping at straws, and whatever straws they get, they create straw men, essentially, out of what they want to argue about. Because they know they can't beat us on the substance. So they decide to try to beat us on the culture war. The unfortunate reality here is people on the left and people in the center, the liberals, they do tend to fall for that. And it's like, dude, you should know better by now. Don't fall for the culture war. You got to be able to swat that away like a fly. Don't talk about the culture war. You're playing right into their hands when you do that. But basically, what Ron DeSantis is trying to do here is he's making it so that parents can sue the schools, can sue public schools. And there's a really funny caveat to this. If the students come home and tell them, hey, mommy, hey, daddy, our teacher's teaching us about critical race theory. And they can go, what? What the hell? I'm going to sue that teacher. They shouldn't be teaching nothing that don't preach white supremacy and American exceptionalism. And that's kind of the goal here. They want to be able to push in Florida at the very least, and other states are trying to do this as well. They want to push white supremacy. They want to push American exceptionalism. They want to get rid of all the bad teachings about America. They want to get rid of all the good teachings about anywhere else in the world and just say America good, everyone else bad. That's their whole agenda here. You know who else does that shit? North Korea. North Korea teaches their children about North Korean exceptionalism and how the Kims are basically gods, right? Like Kim Jong-il, they were teaching them years ago, invented the hamburger. He was a fashion icon. He had no anus, so he never went to the bathroom. He controlled the weather. I mean, all this crazy stuff. What are they going to do in Florida now? I mean, for crying out loud, are they going to start teaching these Floridian children that Trump was God himself incarnate and he shot lightning bolts out of his eyes and fire from his fingers? Oh my goodness. The potential for abuse here and brainwashing is astronomical. I can't even begin to imagine what this country would look like in 5 or 10 more years if this stuff were to happen. The good news is this probably isn't going to hold up in court. I mean, Ron DeSantis is just pandering to the dumbest of the dumb in his base. I know Farron Cousins of Fair and Balanced in the Ring of Fire points out all the time. He lives in Florida, so he knows the kind of crazy that goes on down there, and he knows what Ron DeSantis is all about. He wants to run for president is really what this is, and he thinks he can get there by saying, I'm more Trumpian than Trump, kind of thing. Dude, you worship a guy who worships Hitler. I hope you realize that. I'm sure he doesn't really care. And, they want us to teach basically how communism is everything we hate and communism bad, capitalism everything is good, capitalism rah rah America. That's what they want. They want to push a specific narrative to stop people from learning about what's gaining in popularity right now. Mainly left-wing ideology of any kind. It could be socialism, it could be communism, it could be egalitarian eco-socialism. That's big in the Green Party. It's just these guys are desperate. They don't know what to do now. They know their time is coming to an end, and they're trying to prepare the future for their ideology to outlive them. You know, the liberal corporate Democrats in Congress are doing the same thing now, which is why I just say we need a whole new system. We can't just keep trying to take over a system that's too safeguarded like this one is. We got to be able to have a new system. And likewise, like what the liberals are doing, the conservatives are trying to do this kind of stuff. They're trying to say to them, America good, everyone else bad, white supreme, everyone else inferior, and it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. It's the stupidest thing ever. Ron DeSantis doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, he does know what he's doing. He's trying to pander to his base, but I don't think he really understands that what he's going to do is going to fail at the end of the day. I don't think he knows that. I don't even know. Does he care? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But this is a stupid thing he's doing. That anti-woke act, the Stop Woke Act or whatever. Dude, even if you don't learn certain things in school, you're going to learn it outside of school somewhere. So why bother doing that? And by the way, you're infringing on academic freedom, which unfortunately we don't actually have in this country, but we should. Academic freedom should be a thing, Teachers should be allowed to teach the real history, the good and the bad. They should be able to teach the things that made America into the powerhouse it is today, but they should also do it in the proper context. They should be able to do it, yeah, we committed Native American genocide. Yeah, we had slavery. Yeah, we did horrendous things to them. Yeah, we did this. But they should also be able to do the good things, of course. But they should do it, again, in the context of, well, like the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the Vanderbilts and all these people, their companies help make America what it is today. This is the proper context, by the way. They didn't do it themselves. Historically, we like to teach things like, oh, Rockefeller brought Standard Oil up all by himself. He gets all the credit. Well, that's basically undermining workers and saying the workers didn't matter. Rockefeller may have gotten the credit for Standard Oil, but it was the workers who helped him in his undertaking here, who put his ideas into action that really made it all work. And they got nothing for it. All things considered in the end, they got no recognition, they got nothing. So that's what we mean when we say this country was built on exploitation. Capitalism thrives on exploitation, which is why we need to get rid of it, because it's really the workers who make everything like that work. And DeSantis, unfortunately, with the education thing here, stop this woke act, he's not going to be able to stop it. It's an exercise in futility. This guy he's up the river without a paddle. And I honestly don't care what anybody thinks of critical race theory, if they're a racist, if they're not a racist. It's dumb. The whole thing is dumb. People need to learn the good and the bad. They need to learn the proper context. They need to also be able to think critically. They need to be able to have the critical thinking skills necessary to dissect the lies from the truth, the fact from the fiction. And that's not what these guys want. These guys want pure indoctrination of American exceptionalism and white supremacy. At the end of the day, it may go a little ways, but it's only going to go so far before people finally realize, whoa, this isn't what we wanted, and they're going to rebel and make sure that stuff is gone forever. Look what they did in Germany. They tried to do that in Germany, and after people discovered what Hitler was really doing, they were like, we didn't ask for this. Whoa, we don't. This crazy man doesn't represent us. So when he, met his end and Germany, the German Nazi Empire fell, they embraced democracy once again. So, let's hope we don't go through what Nazi Germany went through. But unfortunately, my feeling is we probably will. We just got to be ready to deal with it when it comes.